Many people get their real estate license with really great intentions to sell a home, but never actually get the opportunity to. And I think that comes down to sometimes the idea of being an entrepreneur and being able to set your own schedule is really exciting and really interesting. But being an entrepreneur means that if you don't hunt, you don't eat. And it means that
Yeah.
there's a lot of busy work that you don't get paid for, that you have to keep doing.
Hey, everybody. Patrick Merrill selling the beautiful coast from the Louisiana, Texas line all the way down to the Florida Keys. We got you covered. This is Lift It. We're here with Kelli. Kelli, you're in Utah?
I'm in
Is that
Utah.
right?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. What part?
In Salt Lake City.
I've been there once. I was one of my trips to Vegas. I was supposed to go to Vail, and then the night I was in Denver, they had that freak snowstorm up there, and
Mm.
it's like, I'm from the coast. We don't drive in that. I mean, we'll drive in sand, but no. So I had to veer around a different way to get around the mountain, which was thank goodness I did because it closed that road for like 4 days.
Oh,
So if I
wow.
would have I would have been stuck up there
Yeah.
in Vail. But it was that I think it was like a year big festival they were having a weekend, one of those big sales where everybody comes from all over. So I thought I'd never been to Vail. I'm like, that's a perfect place to stop. I'll keep it on my list. Now, is the smoke out there? How are the wildfires and all? Was that affecting y'all or?
Oh, yeah. Our wildfires have been rampant. They've actually done a statewide shutdown of all fireworks this year. So we're a little bit
Oh,
disappointed on
wow.
that, but there'll still be the big festivities. Just you can't do any personal fireworks this year because of the fires.
Is now did y'all say you didn't have a big snow year? Am I thinking right? Did
We
y'all
did
not have a
not.
whole
It's been
lot?
a very,
Okay.
very dry year, which is part of the
Mm,
problem.
that's horrible. That's horrible. A
Yep.
friend of mine, she was thinking about moving back. She was out that way. She moved here about 3 years ago. And
Mm.
she's like, I think I want to go back out that way. She just like, it's so humid here, and it's like when it's 90 degrees, it feels like it's 120 because it's so humid. And she's like, I kind of just miss it out there. And then she called me this morning. She said, them fires got me a little nervous. I won't be able to breathe. I was like, well, you might better stay put in the humidity another little bit longer.
It's not
But
too bad. We had some winds and some rain the last couple of days, and it's calmed a lot of the smoke down, so it's reasonable.
it's
But I
beautiful out
love it
there. I
here. I
love it.
love outside and being outside and in the mountains and all of that, and so this is a perfect place to call home.
It's beautiful. I mean, I've been watching a couple other people that go out in the middle of the desert and everywhere camping, and it's like just them and their puppy and nobody. I'm like, that is it's cool to be able to go and do that. And it's like, if I could get in a tent, I would. I think that I love going out and seeing different things. I drove to Vegas like a couple times a year for years, and then I started flying, and I really miss the driving because I love seeing how other people live. I mean, the landscape from like Flagstaff over, I mean, it's like, wow, you be in snow, and then the next thing you're pulling your jackets off and it's hot. I love it. And the sky don't even look, it's all so different from here. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, well, that's the beauty of real estate and property management and the opportunity to I get to travel a lot with my organization, and so I have the opportunity to go and see how a lot of different people live and experience the sweaty climates of some of the states and the more beautiful places. It's
Uh-huh.
been really lovely.
Well, now you are doing, you've been in 25 years or a little bit longer?
I've been in the property management and real estate industry for 25 years, a little bit over now, and now I run a property management consulting business. So I train people on property management. I work with different offices across the nation and in multiple other countries, and
Oh,
I love what
wow.
I do. Yeah,
That's awesome. You can tell. I mean, you can tell when people like their job. You
it's
really can
true.
tell. It's like,
You can tell when they don't.
oh yeah, oh my God, yeah. I get tickled with that. It's like I'll sit there and sometimes I love the people watching. I'll just sit there and like, young, you got about another 70 years of work. So you really might as well change your job or your attitude. Something is not gonna work for you here. You know,
For
I've been doing
sure.
real estate 16 years, and I gotta say I love it. I did have a couple chances to get into property management when I first started real estate. I would go out and show rental properties to get used to that meeting people at a house, you know, and that
Mm.
kind of one-on-one, and you're getting that initial meeting out the way. Property management can be great, but you're gonna work.
Oh,
I
yeah.
mean, so
It's
you've
not
taken a lot
it's
of the
not
work out
easy.
of it there. No, well, I mean, it's so hard. It's like because, like, I mean, you got your owner, which you're trying to keep happy, and we're trying to keep the tenant happy. Yeah, we just got to always find that medium to make everybody happy.
Yeah, it is in the core a customer service industry, a customer service business. You
Oh yeah,
are the ultimate monkey in the middle when you're a property manager,
yeah,
trying to figure out that
yeah.
balance. Yeah.
Wow. So, how many properties are you managing? Just out of curiosity.
So I don't manage any anymore,
Okay.
which is great. I used to work for an organization that had about 4,600 doors. I've done multifamily, single family, low income housing tax credit properties. I've dabbled in commercial and short term rentals. But really, my clients now are anywhere from 150 doors under management. I think my largest has about 25,000. So it's a
Wow.
big, big range.
Yeah, that's big. Oh my god. I
Yeah,
couldn't imagine. Well, I mean, I must say they have a team of people with that many properties. That would be
totally.
hard for one person to maybe a nice fat check, but still, that'd be a lot of work. What got you into this versus just the traditional sales of real estate and those transactions like that? You know, because most people after about a year or two in real estate, they they find their niche, so to say. And a lot of times people like doing the property management and some like want to do flips. You know, some people get into real estate because they just want to flip houses.
Yeah, I didn't start in real estate. So I started on the contractor side. I started on the general contractor side, working with property managers to take slumlord properties and get them back up to snuff to be able to put them on market and be rentable, livable homes. And so from there, I transitioned into multifamily and was an on-site property manager in the multifamily space for many years and fell in love with it. I love the multifaceted nature of property management. You have the opportunity to do a little bit of legal and do a lot of customer satisfaction and do a lot of showing houses and fixing up houses and renovation projects and project management. Like there's so many different things that you get to do. Somebody like me who is endlessly curious and always wanting to learn something, there was never an end to what I could pick up and what I could do. And so that really spoke to my personality and my ability to kind of adapt to new things. So you take that and then you also take the amount that this industry has changed over those 25 years. We
Oh
went
yeah.
from triplicate forms and fax machines to complex AI algorithms and integrations of software and all of these different things that we're dabbling in now, and it's fascinating.
It is. I mean, to be the age that I'm gonna be 60 this year, but it just seems like we have seen some really cool stuff. I
Yeah.
mean, you know, we grew up watching the Jetsons, you know, and now here we are. It's like, okay, there's the Jetsons. We're on the TV. There it is, you know, and it's amazing how
Yeah.
a lot of the things that have changed since I was growing up, I should say. Do most of the rental now, do y'all do as far as, like, the vacation side on this as
I've
well,
got a couple of
or
clients that are on the vacation side. Most of my clients are long-term residential, but
okay.
I do have some vacation, and that industry has changed a lot in the last couple of years. We went from like a surge of everybody wanting to make their property a vacation home, especially during COVID when people were traveling and staying somewhere for a month because they could
Mhm.
work remotely. Some of that has shifted back to people having to go into the marketplace as some of those properties have transitioned back to long-term rentals. And then we also just saw a surge of legislation around certificate programs and taxation for those vacation homes because the hotel industry was getting mad. They're like, "Wait, you're taking
Oh,
our people, but
yeah.
you're not being taxed the same way."
That
So,
I never thought about that, so you just said that. Yeah, that makes
Yeah.
sense.
Yeah, we're seeing more legislature and more regulation around short-term rentals now, specifically in vacation markets, but also in some of these just regular markets. Like, normal people don't want this revolving door rental in their
Mm-mm.
neighborhood a lot of times, so they've been
Oh, that's
fighting
true.
back against it.
That you got out there, I can imagine that's a good rental market for that, for
Yeah.
traveling and doing those things. We get here, we have like one of the Chevron refineries is right here in Pascagoula, and then the Ingalls Shipyard. And we get, the different hospital systems, we'll get a lot of traveling nurses and even that
Mm,
will want to stay in town, which that actually works out really good because a lot of them they have, they're by themselves and they walk in, they have everything they need. They got their everything, and
yeah.
it's perfect. You got laundry, so and most of them will sign a 3 to 6 month contract with the hospital. That's a win. That's definitely
Yeah.
a win for the owner, I think, when
Yeah,
we can do
corporate
things like
rentals,
that.
midterm rentals, those are still very prevalent in corporate markets or those traveling nurse markets where you need something for 3 to 6 months, but not longer than that. Or we'll see some people that they want their home to be a 9-month rental because they wanna live in it 3 months out of the year. So, there are
Makes
those as
sense.
well. Yeah, yeah.
Why if I came to you and I told you, where would you put somebody to start? Where would you start to even look into becoming in the property management? Would you say, let's get your real estate courses, get this part out the way, and then branch into that and see how you feel with it? Or
Yeah, so I used to work in the franchising side of property management. I worked with the 2 largest national franchises in property management and oftentimes came across people that this was their first step into real estate at all. They were opening
uh
a property management business. So sometimes it's investors who want to get a little bit more savvy with how they manage their properties. They want to manage their portfolio themselves. Sometimes it's real estate agents who are curious about having a steadier income in addition to their sales transactions, especially as we've seen that sales market shift. And sometimes it is really people who are looking for a new career, they think this might be interesting. If you're
oh
on
yeah.
that latter half, then yes, the first thing you got to do is get a real estate license in most markets. There's only a couple of markets where that's not a requirement. And then you're
Hmm.
gonna have to find a broker in charge that would be willing to take on that risk of being the broker for your business. If you're a real estate agent, start working towards your broker's license so that you can be your own broker of record, broker in charge, and be able to run a property management division within your organization, within your company. But yeah, education is everything. I think that there is some resources that are starting to pop up. I'm starting to create resources for people who want to get started into this as well. But your national organizations like the National Association of Residential Property Management or the National Apartment Association or IREM, those are all great resources to start feeling it out. Go to some local chapter meetings, go to a national event, talk to people who are doing property management and see if it's something that is interesting to you. It's not for everybody. It's
Oh no.
definitely not for
Mm-mm.
everybody.
To me, there's a very hands-on job, in my opinion. I mean, when I see it's like, I mean, real estate is constant. I have that phone by you all the time,
Yeah.
and it makes me think with that part of it, it's definitely a different way to do it. I mean, you've got property management is just I don't know how to say it. It could be a great thing for you, but you got to be patient with it. I mean, because none of it's gonna
Yeah.
come overnight. And that's like somebody said something. It's like you've been busy. I said, I know, right? My garden's growing. I'm just going to go start plucking. So it was like I wrote 7 things last week. And it was like it's all of a sudden, you just never know, and that's what I tell everybody, even with property management, say you're doing 4 or 5, you never know. You might get 60 doors in a month, and then where you're gonna be, you're gonna be with 60 doors going, "Sure, miss my 3, I only had to do I had a lot more time." But
Well, and I
it's
would say
definitely
yeah, and I would say if this is something that you wanna get started in, look into education courses, maybe go the franchise route, but align with a coach, with a consultant that can help you set up the framework correctly from the start. A lot of times I'm working with clients at different juncture points in their organization because they grew by accident or they kind of like fell into this business or they thought it was a really great idea and they started selling before they had operations figured out. And what you end up doing is if you don't set your profitability up right and your fee schedule up right from the very beginning, you'll find yourself at 60, 70, 80 doors, but without the margins to be able to hire somebody to help you. And so making sure that if you're getting started, get started with a coach, get started with a mentor, get started with education in that profitability and operations side of property management first, so that you're setting it up right while you have the time to set it up and not when you're crazy spinning and like desperate.
It's hard to get used to these type of schedules too. You know,
Yeah.
when you go from working a 40-hour week and then you go into real estate and it's like I tell you, my schedule's easier to switch than somebody that's working for somebody. You know,
Yeah.
so no, I just want to tell everybody, I'll work around you. I don't want you missing work. You need to make money to buy that house. And you said you do offer like a classes. Do you do YouTube or
So
if somebody wants to reach out?
Yeah, I've started a new company called PropertyDojo where you can actually go online and you can buy any of the documents that you need for starting and running a property management business. We are starting to build out all of our training courses that will correspond with that as well. So, all of your one-on-one 101 courses is what we're starting with. Everything you need to know to run a property management correctly from the start. Then we'll be building 201 and 301 and continuously kind of building out that library. And then I'm a property management operations coach. So if somebody wanted to align with me and we can give you those beginning pointers and get you started in the right direction, people can always reach out to me directly and we can get you set up.
And that's from anywhere. So if somebody in the Keys wanted to reach out to you,
Yep.
you're in Utah, but you can still make that work.
Most of our consulting work is done virtually. We do on site as well. I've worked with clients in every one of the 50 states and 10 different countries now.
Uh, Wow,
I know,
that's
isn't that
awesome.
crazy?
That's awesome. Are you going to all those countries checking it out? Those would be the properties I think you'd really want to have to go look at in person. You know, and maybe stay there for a month on that island. And to
Depends on the
me,
place, I guess. There are some
it's
places that might be
education and
scarier.
research,
Yeah,
you gotta
yeah.
know when that coconut's gonna fall out of that tree. So, education's important while you're looking at these properties, for sure.
Yeah, yeah,
It's a fascinating thing, it really
it
is.
is, and you're dealing with one of those basic necessities in somebody's life. You're dealing with
Mhm.
their home. You're dealing with the place that they are creating safety and security for themselves. You're dealing with their stability when you're dealing with tenants. With owners, you're dealing with wealth management. You're dealing with their future, their legacy, their retirement plan. Like the tangible assets that we're managing are such a valuable part of life and about
Oh, yeah.
the communities that we serve and the communities that we're part of. And so my efforts have always been to elevate the standards of property management so that when we're making those additions to a community, they're a positive impact and not, the alternative, which is
Mhm.
the slumlord impact and
Right,
the
right.
disparate impact on a community. And if done right, this is a very sustainable, very long-term, very stable industry to be in. It's a really tangible, valuable if you're someone that wants to make an impact on your community, it's a great way to do it. You won't get the accolades for it. It won't be a, pat you on the back, "Thank you so much." It's a thankless job, but gosh, does it make an impact.
And you will see, I'm sure after you've been doing this for a while, you will see everything fall into place. And like you said, is that most tenants and like buyers, even with the homes, that's why I try to tell other agents I work with, is you need to remember, we do this daily. It's like automatic how to answer and tell somebody something, something, something. But most buyers are going to buy one time. Maybe
Mhm.
twice, but most of the time it's one house. So it's like I think it's important, like you're in the education, to share all that knowledge to help everybody out in that part bleh, with that part of what's going on in their life. And
Yeah,
that's
for
one thing
sure.
you don't ever know. I mean, I like doing what I've been doing. Like I said, I was in the casino business for about 15, 16 years. And then
Mm,
I got into real estate and I loved working in the casinos because it was like 8 hours I got to work, it's showtime. Such a fun environment to be in. And it's
yeah,
like, okay, I park in a garage. They basically clothe me. They feed me. I'm in an air conditioned building or heated building. So, you can't beat it. The casinos was great, but unfortunately, I have a bad back. So that wasn't so much fun. So that's when I started leaning because I've always wanted to do real estate. So I just started leaning into the real estate
mm,
and things failed the way they did. And it worked out for me to jump in it. And I did. And I mean, I love it. I mean, it's
yeah,
like I'm on a mission. When somebody tells me what they want, it's like, okay, it may take me a while to find it. I will find them what they want. It's like a
yeah,
mission.
yeah. I got my real estate license probably 10 years ago now, and the first home that I sold was to my mother.
Oh,
And
wow.
I love you, mom, but that was the worst experience in the whole world. We went to so many properties and she fell in love with all of the most broken toys that she possibly could, and I'm like, "No, you cannot buy that haunted house. You cannot, I'm sorry."
Well, it'd be like having company. Oh my God. That's funny.
Yeah, I think that's interesting. I think the statistic, I don't know if it's still the statistic, but it used to be that 80% of real estate agents would never sell a home. Like, the
Hmm.
many people get their real estate license with really great intentions to sell a home, but never actually get the opportunity to. And I think that comes down to sometimes the idea of being an entrepreneur and being able to set your own schedule and do your own thing
Mhm.
and have your freedom to go to your kids' events during the day and whatever that may be for you is really exciting and really interesting. But being an entrepreneur means that if you don't hunt, you don't eat.
Mhm.
And it means that
Yeah.
there's a lot of busy work that you don't get paid for, that you have to keep doing. There's
You
the
got
grind
to do
to
it.
it. Not everybody understands that. And so
Uh-uh.
if you've got the work ethic, if and you got the drive and you've got the desire and you're curious and you're endlessly curious, this is a fantastic place to be. And adding property management to that opportunity is that's the steady income between the larger paychecks of a sales transaction. But more than that, it is rounding out your ability to serve the investor.
Oh, for
They can
sure.
buy and sell transactions with you, and then you can also manage the assets that they procure along the way and
And
help
like,
maintain the
they're gonna
value
get
of 'em.
comfortable with you. I mean,
Yeah.
they're going to be comfortable with you because 'cause they're spending money with you,
Mhm.
so you want them to feel comfortable, for
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah.
It's
We like to talk about it as more of like the difference between a short-term relationship and a long-term relationship.
yeah,
You have a short-term relationship sometimes in real estate. You have a long-term relationship with those owners and investors in property management.
that's true. And never it seems like never a deal is the same. I
No.
mean, you like you said, I learn something new every day,
Yeah.
so I keep the eyes open waiting for my class. What's my education today? But it's a lot of it is so different. When I tell some of the people, I mean, when I first got into real estate, I was like a Pop-Tart dealer. Phone rang, I popped up, I went. I so why are
Yep.
you going
It's
and
the way to
showing
do
so
it.
many houses? I'm like, I'm on a mission. Like, what's your mission? I said, I want my pocket a little bit fatter, and I said, I enjoy, it's fun meeting people out and showing them your town, especially, if they come up from north, way out in New York or somewhere and come here. They're just, I can't, but your taxes are what? Really? It's like, yeah. I'm like, what are you paying for your HOA in New York? Yeah, 4,000 a month. We gonna find you a house on the water if you're paying 4,000 a month.
Yeah.
So it's a big difference, and people don't see how culture difference that is. And well, I went to New York about 3 years ago and was talking to a lady. That's people showing us around, and I never even thought about that. But most people in New York don't ever get driver's license. They never drive a
Yeah.
car.
Isn't that
I'm like,
weird?
that is very weird. I
Yeah.
mean, here it was like I couldn't wait to turn 14, start getting my permit. And I was like, yeah, because that was a big thing. You wanted your
Yeah.
driver's license as soon as you could get them. It's
Yeah.
freedom
Yeah.
coming. You know? So that definitely different locations can make a big difference. Do y'all in Salt Lake have a pretty good rental market there, or
We do. It's a pretty healthy market. This is a pretty, moderate place to live. It's not as expensive as the coasts. I used to do property management in the San Francisco Bay Area for 11
oh,
years,
wow.
and we were selling and I rented out a 400 square foot one-bedroom apartment for $2,500, and
That just amazes.
yeah, you think about that and you're like, "Well, who can afford that? Who's affording to live in that tiny of a space by themselves? Because you can't put 2 people in there."
Yeah.
It's a lot different. You can get a large home, a single family home, and rent it here for $2,500 a month. So, the parallels and the differences in the quality of life is very, very different market to market. You go to Indiana and you'll find a rental that is comparable that is only $1,000 a month. So, it's really interesting to see the different types of assets, the different ways that they're managed, the different prices of the markets, but then the different appetites for different features in different markets from different cultures and different people. It's super fascinating to be able to kind of like zoom out and see that world lens of real estate.
Oh, for sure. I mean, do you have like builders that say, "Look, okay, I'm thinking about hopping over this little area, this town. Could you tell me what would if I built a property that had 100 doors that I wanted to rent and lease out?" Do you help people pick an area that they might be more willing to build in to have a faster return on their investment?
I have worked with different investors and different REITs over the years to be able to decide what markets are best for kind of the projections of growth that we're seeing or the stability of those markets that we've seen over time, and worked with local property managers within those regions to be able to give that specialized, tailored investor mindset for those particular offices. So if I'm working with somebody and they're looking at, well, where, we'll hone in on the markets that we think are going to be best for them and then align them with professionals in those markets that will be able to give them boots on the ground expertise. And then in addition to that, that could be your property manager once that asset is built.
Yeah,
And so it's
that's
a great
huge.
handoff to be able to get
A
someone
hundred
local.
doors? That would be nice, and they're
Yeah,
always gonna use you because you put them in the right place
for
at
sure.
the right time, and
For
that goes
sure.
back to what you're saying, it's a very personable thing, 'cause
Mhm.
you make that connection, you want everybody to get paid, so to say. Now, do you do as far as like a mall, shopping centers and things like that? Or is it more of on the home, the family style?
Yeah, I stay more residential for the most
Okay.
part. I do have clients that are in the commercial space, and so I have a franchise that I worked with that has locations across the country that does commercial management and commercial real estate. And then I have some one-off offices in different regions that do commercial management that I've worked with. I've got several that I'm working with right now. And so those are other referral opportunities to help people grow in those marketplaces.
Pretty awesome.
Yeah, it's pretty
You got
fun.
to work every day.
I mostly help people with the operations of their business. So, when it comes to technology and choosing the right technology partners, building out all of their standard operating procedures and processes so that they can run more streamlined, more efficient, or prepare for this wave of AI that's coming,
Oh,
you
yeah.
have to be organized and structured to be ready for that. Or helping with team development and training and organization structures. Those are really the bones, the heart of what we do is those operational, foundational pieces of the business that will help you structure or restructure so that you can reach the potential and do great work for your community.
Love it.
It's so
I
fun.
love it. But
Every single
yeah,
office is different.
yeah, and it's got to be so much that goes through your head every day when you're working and you're like, this coming across my desk. That's perfect for so and so,
Yeah.
because you got all those people in your phone and everywhere. So somebody's looking. One more quick little thing, and I'll let you get off here because I'll run my mouth all day. If the first thing we would say is to get your real estate license
Yeah.
to begin. I agree.
Get
I
your
think
real
that would
estate
be it.
license and align with a coach, whether that is a mentor, somebody that you know that's doing it really well in your market or in another market, whether it's a professional like myself that is really geared up to be a consultant and a coach and a mentor for you, whether it's a mastermind group that you get into or a national convention you attend and ask every question imaginable. There are people in this industry that want to help you get started, and because we're trying to not be the redheaded stepchild of real estate anymore,
Mhm.
we're invested in making sure that people who do come into property management are doing it well and doing it as a service to their communities. So, it is a very collaborative group of professionals that are eager to help you be successful.
Real estate, we like to see everybody do good.
Yeah,
So I mean, I don't need it all. I just want to be able to pay my bills and come and go and do. I don't need it all. I just need a little piece of it. That's
yeah.
it. There's
There
plenty
is
to go
enough to
around.
go around. There
It
is enough
is.
to
It
go around.
really is. And that's one big, don't burn no bridges. But I do thank you, Kelli, for coming on. And maybe 4 or 5 months, we'll have a catch up again. And if anybody's looking or wanting to know, I'll have them put all your information in under the videos so
Okay,
they can reach out to you as well. Thank you
perfect.
again for your time. Enjoy your day. And hopefully they'll get them fires out there before long. I'm thinking of
Hopefully.
rain for y'all.
Yeah, yeah, let's put that into the world. That's a great
Well,
idea.
we've had a ton of it here, so we need to move the rain up
Send it
that
our
way.
way.
Definitely. Well, I do appreciate it, Kelli. Thank you again for helping me out and having our nice little chat. And hopefully, we got some people lifted, and it's going to be a great day.
Perfect.
Thank you,
Thanks,
ma'am.
Patrick.
Bye bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank y'all again for taking the time to come along my venture with me. I am Patrick Merrill, and I hope you have been lifted. If not, let me know. We'll figure out a way. There's always a way. Thank y'all again for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe, and tell your friends. Y'all have a great day.